I am so fortunate today. I get the privilege and honor to interview Dr. Norman Kachuck, who is a neurologist and MS researcher.
I was interested in how we perceived sound in space, and in my designing that kind of music and that kind of apparatus to deliver the music, I needed to learn more about how the brain worked with perception of space and sound, frequency and location. And one thing led to another, and I had people telling me, if you really want to understand this, you'd better understand how the nervous system and the body work. And thus it started.
Wow.
And jazz just had to take a back seat, and composition had to be put on hold for a while.
Right, and
I had to go back and take all the pre-med requirements, and then to UCLA to do that. So I did the 4-letter place, and then I did the 3-letter place for medicine and the neurology and residency and fellowship, and stayed at USC to run the neuroimmunology service. And I did some administrative work too. And the research was very, very, very exciting and interesting. But in 2010, for a variety of reasons, I had to leave practice. And since then, I've been doing medical directorship work with a company developing diagnostic tests for multiple sclerosis patients. And that's been very interesting. And I've also been thinking a lot about the ethics of medical practice and how we work as doctors in society. What does it mean to be a physician, philosophically, psychologically, and also in terms of the neuroscience of being able to somehow control a body that's full of things, including the immune system. What does consciousness have to do with that kind of control? So it's been challenging and rewarding, sort of in a second phase of life. But I keep in touch with all my MS friends, and here you are.
So, looking at your resume, and that you did the study of neuroimmunology, which I had to look up myself, which is just fascinating. That it's a study of the nervous system and the immune system. Is that a fair assessment, or is it? It's. I'm sure you have a much more technical explanation for that.
Well, the wonderful thing, I think, about those two systems, the nervous system and the immune system, is that they both act as sort of the boundaries between us and the world. We use our senses, of course, to perceive, consciously, unconsciously. It's our nervous system that really helps develop our picture of the world and helps us respond to it appropriately. The immune system does the same thing, except on a much more microscopic level. We're certainly not aware of it, but it's actually preventing things from getting to us. It recognizes our environment, and it takes steps to barricade against the bad stuff and lets the good stuff in. And as such, it creates boundary conditions, the immune system, for our body and ourselves. And in a lot of ways, I think that boundary condition is what the nervous system does too. So they have a commonality in that respect.
Wow. Doing the research and then hearing you talk about it, I could see so many parallels in my own life, and thinking about other people I know with MS and how it kind of makes sense. So I guess maybe I'm maybe jumping the gun here by saying, why is it so difficult for them to come up with a cure? Is it because no two people are affected the same way, or?
It's because MS is a really